Major news coming out of the New York Knicks camp and from his very own Mitchell Robinson, who confirmed, or at least said on social media, that when a fan asked him when he was coming back, he confirmed it would be the 8th of February against the Boston Celtics. This is the same Mitchell Robinson who's been out this whole season, who's missed about 47 games with an ankle injury, was supposed to come back around December, January. That's got pushed into mid-February as reported initially by Ian Begley of SNY TV. But major news for Mitchell Robinson coming back against the almighty Boston Celtics, who I believe have beaten us in the last 5 out of the last 6 games over the past 2 seasons. This year, Mitchell Robinson, again, out with 47 games, has about 2 more years left on his contract, making around $14.3 million this year and then $12 million the next year. Has definitely come up in some trade news. Has missed about almost close to 40% of his career games since he's gotten drafted from the Knicks or by the Knicks back in 2018, 2019. And you've seen the number of games kind of decline from like the mid 60s on downward from 2021 to 2022. And his declining contract from 14 to 12 million definitely makes him very attractive. He's a guy that's come up in several trade rumors, interests, but oddly enough, his trade value has somewhat been hit, according to league sources. Teams don't want to trade for him because of the same reasons that I've just mentioned, right? His injury history is just so extensive, despite the fact that he's still a very talented player when he's healthy. Now, with all those negatives, got that out the way, Mitchell Robinson coming back would be a major boon for the New York Knicks as they make a run towards the ECF. Now, last year, Mitchell Robinson was putting up 5.6 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, 1.2 steals, 1.1 blocks a game before his December injury. And many believe Mitchell Robinson was putting up, I would even dare to say, all-star numbers. Now, again, the offensive scoring was not there to carry him, but Mitchell Robinson was putting up some elite numbers, especially on the rebounding end. Before he got hurt in early December, Mitchell Robinson was averaging 5.3 offensive rebounds a game, which was more than one higher than the next guy up in Rudy Gobert at 4 offensive rebounds a game. He was 13 overall rebounding, and he was number 1 in contested offensive rebounding game at 4.1, which was almost 1 better than the next guy up in Clint Capella. And then you look at what he was doing on the boards last year offensively. It complements what the Knicks are doing this year, I guess, with Cat. Now, granted, defensive rebounding, the Knicks are still one of the top bottom 10 teams in the league. Offensive rebounding is 16th. But Mitchell Robinson's ability to kind of complement the Knicks, or at least Cat's defensive rebounding. Cat is the number 1 overall rebounder in the league, and I believe the number 1 contested rebounder on the defensive end in the league. Mitchell Robinson's work on offensive glass definitely helps out. Now, obviously, how they stagger lineups is it's all up to Tibbs and how they mix in Mitchell Robinson with Cat. But many people have said that Cat probably would play or eat better at the 4 position and have a legitimate center. So obviously how you stagger the lineups, Josh Hart may come out, McCall may come out, put McCall with the second unit to be more of a playmaker, put Mitch. I don't know how it's going to work, but essentially Mitchell Robinson's work on the glass is definitely going to pay dividends and complement the Knicks a lot better, who again, 16th offensive rebounding, despite the fact this season they actually are 5th in putback points per game, 11th in putback plays per miss, and 3rd in putback points per play. Now, granted, a lot of that comes from the effort of other players in the squad, and given the fact that the Knicks, our starters, are up there in terms of minutes played, Mitchell Robinson's presence, something that it allowed us to kind of not have Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo last year have to crash boards every time. That same benefit will definitely come back to the Knicks this season, where you don't have to overexert guys like Josh Hart, who's going to have to play 38 to 40-something minutes a game in the playoffs or late in the season against some of the top teams. Same thing with Mikal Bridges, who's one of the tops in the NBA in terms of minutes played. And so Mitch Robinson is just going to be able to spell these guys and help us reach the elite levels. On the board, something that Tom Thibodeau, at least on the offensive end, has had with the Knicks since he's been here, or since he's gotten hired. Now, granted, the defensive ability by Mitchell Robinson, you could say some of that's kind of come down over the years with his injuries. Now, Mitchell Robinson will be interesting to see, given the fact that he's seemed to have gotten a lot slimmer. Now, last year he put on weight to try to combat some of the centers in the league, and it definitely helped out in some spots, but then he got hurt. So you give and take, right? But it'll be interesting to see if he moves better laterally. He could stay a lot healthier, being slimmer. Last time I checked, he was around 240. Now, granted, he gets to like 230. That's gonna be a lot skinnier. That's crazy. That's a crazy weight for a guy who's 7 foot plus. But it definitely helped him out with the skeletal, take off weight off of the bone structure, and probably afford him some better stamina, which we're gonna need in the second half of the season. Now, I do wonder how Mitch Robinson's gonna look in the drop back. Something that Tom Thibodeau has been working on with guys, the bigs in this on this team, guys like Cat to do a lot less of. You're seeing Cat take up, or at least at a hedge, or sometimes even switch, stand on an island off of the screens to varying success, right? And then you saw, the drop back. It works at times against teams who need to eat in the paint, teams like the Grizzlies, and actually worked as well a few days ago against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, it'll be interesting to see how Mitch Robinson plays that drop back. Now, granted, what we've been seeing the last few games from this Knicks squad is our wings are playing a lot better in terms of tag defense. Against the Grizzlies, the Knicks actually set a record, or not set a record, but were able to set a season high record, or season high, in 20 steals in a game, which is the highest in Tom Thibodeau's tenure here with the Knicks, and actually the highest since the Knicks put up 20 steals back in 1987. But you're seeing that the tag defense is a lot better. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, you saw that nice deflection got off of Ja Morant. The tag defense has gotten a lot better. The defense overall is starting to coalesce a lot better. And so we do have the weapons to kind of cover for Mitch Robinson, who's going to have to probably play drop back. He can't be out there in the island moving laterally and you risk injury. Granted, I'm not saying you have to limit him, but he's probably not going to be as effective as he was, his rookie sophomore year before that injury he had before the Olympics. Remember, he used to play out on the three-point line, blocking guys at three-point line, taking guys off the dribble, not off his dribble, but defending guys off the dribble, moving laterally. I miss that Mitchell Robinson, man. But damn, anyway, it doesn't matter. Look, Mitch Robinson's back here, and this is coming at a time when the Knicks defense, like I said, with guys out wings, OG and Kyle Bridges, but overall, our defense has been getting better. This is a team that started out in the bottom 10 in terms of defense this season. We were more of an offensive team, trying to get the offense to coalesce, and now the defense has been so much more improved. Number 8 in opponents' points allowed a game, 14 defensive rating. So Mitchell Robinson coming here, it's going to improve the defense, going to spell guys like Pressure True as well, too. I don't think Tom Thibodeau is going to go and expand to play a 10-man rotation. That means maybe Achua plays less minutes. You have him more fresh for spot starts or spot plays, quarters, possession, whatever it may be, against teams like he did last year in the playoffs against Joel Embiid. I believe he played Game 4 or Game 5. I can't remember which one, where he played some excellent defense, help defense, rotation defense. He was excellent out there against the Sixers in a few games, and he kind of they stopped playing. But anyway, definitely should help spell the guys on his team. Achua being a person of strength when you could put him in and out of rotation when need be, definitely going to help out. And Tom Thibodeau expanded the rotations to 9 guys. Definitely also helped the Knicks look at the record since he's expanded the rotations to 9 guys. But again, Mitchell Robinson's presence here takes a lot of stress off of the Knicks, especially as a trade deadline comes up. We've gone from yearning for players like a Nick Richards here. Walker Kessler's going to be way too expensive, getting the Danny Ainge premium. But if Mitchell Robinson can stay healthy through the second half of the season and into the playoffs, that's a major boon. And if whatever confidence we have in his health, we could possibly go after a wing player. Some versatile guys have coming up, guys like Chris Boucher, who the Knicks have said to be interested in, or even a guy like Okai Agbaji, a defensive 3-and-D wing coming out of, who's currently with the Toronto Raptors. I don't know how expensive it would be, but if the Knicks feel like they want to give some assets for a guy, I believe he's making around like $4.5 million on a contract. If they want to go out and get a guy like that versus trying to go out and get a big, definitely help out. I'd rather Mitchell Robinson, healthy Mitchell Robinson, for the second half than us going out and getting a Valanciunas guy who I just don't think fits what Tom Thibodeau likes to do. But guys, let me know your comments. This is breaking news with Mitchell Robinson hinting, he himself saying on social media that he'll be ready to take on the Boston Celtics February 8th at MSG. Leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts. It's your boy Gmo, Legion Knicks. Peace, Lou. God bless. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.